Well, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and basically the entire cryptocurrency sector slipped on a banana peel and fell down layers of stairs. This is caused by a combination of guys with glass hands.
Oh my god, market instability. A hotkey on the keyboard, sell my shares.
And then, of course, one man who has way more power in the cryptocurrency sector than any man should and never should have gotten into cryptocurrency in the first place, unzips his fanny pack and drops in his 2 cents or his 2 buffalo nickels or his Da Vinci Code ducats. Certainly not any Bitcoin or Doge or ADA or anything like that. Definitely not any cryptocurrency. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me on social media as well as right here on my YouTube channel and say, Kevin, can we get an update as to Bitcoin? I'm holding a lot of coin right now because you told me I should be mining with my gaming PC, and I have been, and I haven't withdrawn any of my cryptocurrency because you told me not to, and my wife is about to leave me, and I have my kids' college funds wrapped up in there. I was gonna buy my wife a new rack, not for the kitchen, and I owe it to you guys to drop trow and to show you guys what I'm working with. Do I got flypaper hands here? Are these a couple of limp doozers right here? Are these some big, thick, veiny, girthy, erect diamond hands that not only haven't sold any shares, but actually grabbed his shovel and bought the dip? Let's get it. In case none of that nonsensical rambling in the intro made any sense, what we're actually doing today is a little bit of fundamental analysis as well as a little bit of technical or trend analysis for Bitcoin as well as the entire crypto sector, which is down 19%, almost 20%. That has been fluctuating anywhere between 18 and 30% the last couple days, as it has been an absolute bloodbath McGraw down there. Now, my personal background in trading, I have about 4.5 years experience day and swing trading penny stocks as well as blue chips. Technically, I hold on to the blue chip stocks for the long run as I am invested in the fundamentals of that company. That's a lot more lucrative than basically just tossing it into a savings account with a 0.06% annual percent yield and letting it collect dust, rust, must, and whatever else rhymes with that. But like I mentioned, my trading background is primarily in very, very volatile speculative trades such as penny stocks, IPOs. Cryptocurrency is way more volatile than that. Way more volatile. Fear not, because the fundamentals are still there. And I'm going to share a few articles with you guys that might help to alleviate some of the stress that you're probably experiencing right now. I have no idea what your guys' personal positions are, but me personally, I have lost a few hundred to close to $1,000 here recently with the crash of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, ADA, and basically the entire cryptocurrency sector. But am I sweating? A little bit, but it's because my room is kind of warm. This is the hottest room of the house due to my damn gaming PC mining pretty much 24 hours a day. But as far as the money I've lost, I haven't really perspired much from that. I run pretty good deodorant on this body generally, so I'm not sweating too much. All right, so in case you guys have been living under a rock, or more realistically, you probably don't hold any cryptocurrency and you don't subscribe to any kind of news, you don't look at social media, then you might not know what the hell's going on and you might have just stumbled on this video. Awesome, welcome to my channel. If you have your way with the subscribe button and are hot friend the notification bell, you will be alerted when I come out with videos like this, where I basically summarize everything going on, taking the dryness factor out of these boring articles, and I moisten up the topic. That's basically what I do, is give you the nitty gritty, squeeze a titty facts, educate you guys while also being a little bit entertaining. I try and, slam the two together. What this is. So anyway, the crypto market as of now in the past 24 hours is down 20%, and this is all cryptocurrencies combined. Now, if we look at Bitcoin over here, my face is in the way, my apologies. If you look at Bitcoin over here, in the last 24 hours, she is down 10%. Ethereum, almost 25%. Cardano, ADA, which I hold a good stake in right now, 20%. ICP, 30%. Bitcoin Cash, 30%. I mean, I'm not going to go down the entire row here. You guys get the point. It's absolutely plummeting. However, if we look at what happened here to get a little bit better of a visual representation of that, this is a candlestick chart looking at one-day candles here. As you can see, Bitcoin bounced off of a support level right there, attempted to bounce right here, deviated just slightly, but still kind of held its traditional support level. And then right here, ton of bearish volume with this candle right here, broke down its support and absolutely plummeted. But right here, as you can see, as of current, this is a live candle, but all of this bearish volume right here is being rejected. This is not being accepted, which is showing that there is going to be a consolidation phase, as you can see by this long tail, or bottom wick, if you prefer to call it that, The real body of this bearish candle is rather small. If we come over here to the 1 hour chart, it looks as though this could be a potential new support over here at around 39,000, which would make sense considering it has been hovering around the 39,000 US dollar mark for about a day now. It'll deviate a little bit as it is extremely volatile, but it generally settles a little bit after these consolidation bars here. It generally settles out around the 39,000 US dollar mark. By the way, if you guys need access to any of the analysis tools that I'm showing you guys here, or you want any of the programs that I've been showing you guys so far, like Coinbase or Webull, that I showcase in any of my videos, there are links down there in the description below. Those are referral links, which means you get hooked up and I get hooked up. You get a little bit of free stuff. I love free stuff too, so I'll take some as well for basically doing something that you'd probably do anyway, like signing up for a crypto exchange. But in order to understand why Bitcoin slipped on this banana peel and basically cracked its head on the side of the pavement, that was really graphic. I could have made that more peaceful. Basically, you know, twisted its ankle a little bit, tore an ACL, but it's going to be back on the field in no time. Why I'm not really selling any of my shares of Bitcoin. The reason I'm not selling any of my Satoshis is I don't hold one entire BTC, one whole Bitcoin. Well, used to be about $57,000. Now it's around $39,000. But basically, think of Satoshis as fractions of a Bitcoin, just like cents are fractions of $1 US. So the reason I'm not giving up any of my Satoshis, my position in Bitcoin, or any of my cryptocurrencies at the moment, is because the fundamentals are still there. The value in these coins is still there. And the reason that they dipped was a combination of two things. One, this little armpit right here. I have a lot of respect for the man as an entrepreneur, a small business owner that grew an empire basically from starting with one prototype roadster in his mother's driveway. A lot of respect for the man in that aspect. However, he has way more power over the cryptocurrency market. His voice is way too loud. He's holding way too big of a metaphorical megaphone than any man should be able to. It is very similar to Warren Buffett when it comes to traditional legacy investments such as stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds. Elon has that same power and voice when it comes to cryptocurrency and the entire electronic sector, the technology sector, I should say, which also extends to the automotive technology sector. So electronic cars, solar power for homes, basically that whole realm over there belongs to Elon. And you'll probably hear a lot of people say what I'm about to say. I personally wish he never got into cryptocurrency. Yes, he was a major force for growth in previous bullish runs. However, I just wish he would have never gotten into cryptocurrency, period, because he pumped it up way too hard and way too fast, way too soon, basically inflating cryptocurrencies to a level that they really shouldn't have been at. Instead of giving them time to consolidate and steady out and find a real legitimate support and resistance level, he basically used social media and tweets to drive up these cryptocurrencies, primarily Bitcoin and Dogecoin, which coincidentally, Bitcoin is the first ever cryptocurrency ever, started in 2008. Or 9 technically, that all other cryptocurrencies are held to standard with and basically move in conjunction with to a certain extent. So when he says one simple thing like, well, oh, Bitcoin actually uses a lot of fossil fuels, like for example, coal, and I own an electric car company, so I don't really want to be in bed with them anymore, even though 3 months prior, he invested $1.5 billion of his company and decided to accept Bitcoin as currency, purchasable currency, for his vehicles. Granted, they only sold 17 vehicles with Bitcoin, so how important is that feature to anyone? But the fact is, he knew 3 months prior exactly how Bitcoin was produced. He knew basically the ins and outs. He knew the guts. He knew the guts of BTC or Bitcoin. So I don't think it was negligence on his part. I think it is a little bit vindictive at this point. I think he is honestly trying to practice a little bit of price manipulation because he has a hidden agenda, whether that is him and Tesla starting their own cryptocurrency, which is a valid option, or he is trying to invest in other altcoins such as Cardano ADA, which by the way did jump from like 160 to 230, and now it has settled back down around its original price of 160. But Bitcoin and the whole crypto market crash was a combination of two things. One, Elon basically saying he was no longer supporting BTC. He didn't trust it because of the way that it was manufactured, that it uses a lot of fossil fuels, which again, he already knew that getting into bed with them. Then in conjunction with the natural liquidity of cryptocurrency and how volatile they are, that people buy and sell them constantly. Then you get guys that hold large positions, so entire coins that have glass or paper hands. That's what we call it in the investing and trading realm, world, if you will. They have these glass or paper hands. They look just like this. Look at these right here. These little crab claws here. And as soon as they see any instability, they're shaky. Like they don't have the hands of a surgeon. They're shaky. They're like, oh God, ooh, Bitcoin's down 8%, and they sell all their shares. And again, like I mentioned, they hold fat positions, big old thick boys in their hands. So when they do that, it drives the price even lower. But that's not really a bad thing, because if we come over here, hedge funds are still backing up Bitcoin, still supporting it, still rearing it, if you want to say that. And they bought the dip, which a lot of individuals, such as myself, also did, because any dip is a great buying opportunity. Now, that is not always the case. I will caveat that by saying there are certain times where a stock, any kind of commodity, a stock, bond, ETF, mutual fund, REIT, cryptocurrency is past the point of no return, and it is going down for a reason. The CEO is caught doing some like pedophilistic stuff or some disgusting stuff, or a company has lost its funding, or it's basically been put out of business. That stock is just going to continue to decrease. But that is not the case with Bitcoin or any of these major altcoins. Ethereum, Cardano, ADA, even Dogecoin isn't completely tapped out yet. And like we covered, Bitcoin got down pretty much down to like 30,000, but that was its indeed support level. It never dipped down below 30,000, which is great. And I am going to cover how we still need to look at the big picture here, that Bitcoin's price is still astronomically higher than it was in 2017 with the last cryptocurrency bubble. The price of Bitcoin climbed from its lows Wednesday morning at 30K to above 40K. And if we look at it right now, it's at 39. Look at it right here. Yep, well, my head's in the way. Yep, she's about 39,000. So again, it dropped down to about 30K. Now we're back up there around 40K. Despite Elon's gums flapping and fragile, terrified, shaky men and women paper hand traders that sell their shares, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole still has a ton of value and still makes a lot of sense as to why it would be potentially the currency of the future over something like fiat or traditional legacy hard cash. A more than 30% appreciation within a few hours due to, again, these hedge funds and asset managers buying the dip. We are no longer stressed. So they bought the dip between the 30 to 35,000 level and basically rode it back up to about 40K, which again, if you were to hold a large position, that's pretty substantial gains. The firm stated that selling overnight and into the morning was largely driven by forced liquidations on derivative venues. These cascading liquidations, which drove the price of Bitcoin down, have been quickly bought in past instances. So again, all this liquidity that's getting sold off is getting bought right back up. It's not like these coins are just disappearing into thin air. There are still buyers, bulls, that want to take all that liquidity. My money would be on the D-word short gamma guys forcing liquidations and making it even worse for themselves and dragging the whole market down, said Evanigoy Givenoy, the chief executive officer of market making firm Wintermute. He's right. These glass-handed, just, my coins is down, sale. The volume squeeze did, however, not cause liquidations. They were just the consequence, not just from the volume levels, but also the gamma. They would have been liquidated regardless. So again, we were in this massive pump, basically. Think of it like one of the longest pump and dumps you've ever seen. We were at the high of basically one of the longest bullish runs we've ever seen, hitting new highs of BTC and all cryptocurrencies basically as of recent. And then we were due for a market correction anyway. We were due for some consolidation, maybe even a little bearish dip here and there, and we weren't really getting that. It was just continuing to rise, which is kind of unnatural and unhealthy in any market. Then all of this happened at once. Three things. One, natural liquidation, glass-handed F-boys, trying to watch my cussing. And then also big old Elon Musk, with his price manipulation. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it or call it anything else. So all three of these happen at once, and bam, you're looking at a huge dip in BTC. But again, great buying opportunity because Bitcoin's not going anywhere. And if we come over here, Ether took a fat hit. And didn't pass it either. It just took a fat hit and coughed its lungs out. Ether prices fell sharply today, dropping to nearly $1,900, their lowest since early April, amid broader sell-off in digital currencies, which we've talked about, the whole market's in shambles. Ether was down more than 56% from the all-time high of nearly 44 that it had reached earlier this month. So earlier this month, it was at $4,400 per Ether, which is the actual cryptocurrency on the Ethereum algorithm. Now it's at 1900. Despite these recent losses, traders should remember that the digital currency has experienced some astronomical gains this year, climbing from under 750 to roughly 4380, which is again what I kind of alluded to earlier. That even at 2017, when Bitcoin kind of gained traction and blew up the first time, it was nowhere near what it is even right now, even at this lower price right now. What are we at? Yep, 39,000. And people are looking at it like, oh my God, this coin is now useless. It's down from, it was 56,000 like a month ago. Yeah, but you know what else it was? About $1,000 at the beginning of 2017. And at its highest in 2017, about $13,000. Even after this massive bearish dip, we're still at 39,000. This coin is not tapped. It's not out of steam. She just threw some fresh coal in there and she's ready to keep plugging. I know this video is running rather long. I'm sorry, but I've got a lot of stamina today, ladies, so I'm going to keep pumping while I can. So the last thing I'm going to leave this video off on is another positive note when it comes to Bitcoin, and this is called the Taproot upgrade, which is probably coming within the next few weeks. What the hell is Taproot? Thank you for asking. So down here at the bottom of the article, what is Taproot? Taproot is Bitcoin's most anticipated upgrade since SegWit. The actual change is an alteration to only 2 lines of code in the blockchain. It is very minimal, but Taproot will outfit Bitcoin with a new signature scheme known as Schnorr signatures. Blah, 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 bunch of jargon, bunch of technical mumbo jumbo. Basically, it's new transaction logic that is being called smart contracts, which can make things like multi-signature transactions cheaper and more data efficient. So basically, there's the takeaway, the keywords that we're looking for right there. It basically makes Bitcoin transactions more efficient, especially probably multi-signature and international transactions, complicated transactions, making them more efficient. And basically this whole article is talking about how 94% of Bitcoin's hash rate is now pushing for this speedy trial of this Taproot program, this upgrade. So basically, as we can see here, a bunch of positive votes to get Taproot activated. And I could do an entire video covering this article here. I don't think I'm going to, though. I will leave this linked in the description below, all these articles. So if you want to read up on it on your own time, I don't know how to read, but if you do, this is a great resource for you as you can go real deep with the topic. It's actually a very interesting article, and it helps you better understand Bitcoin's vision for the future and what they're trying to do and why they hold value as a digital currency. All right, stallions and stallionettes, I think that's going to do it. I really gum flapped and lip smacked for quite some time, but I think I got my point across, and I think I was able to articulate my argument as to why I do not think Bitcoin or the entire cryptocurrency sector is in major long-term trouble. You know, they might have done an overnighter in the slammer, and, you know, it might have been rough for them. They might have got passed around by their cellmate and whatnot, but they're going to clean themselves up and they're going to get right back on track. They're going to get out there in society again, get a good job, you know, provide a good sample for their PO, and they're going to be better off in their life because of this experience, this life experience of getting slapped around a little bit. That was basically a huge metaphor and analogy for why Bitcoin is actually going to grow stronger than it is currently because of this dip that we're seeing right now, because this is a great opportunity for the market to correct itself because we've been well overdue. And by the way, this is not just cryptocurrency that's going through this right now. The entire stock market, you look at the S&P or Standard & Poor's 500, traditional legacy investments like stocks, bonds, ETFs, they're getting railed 6 ways from Sunday as well. And I will be doing a video on those because I also do invest in I do also do traditional investments as well. It's just the entire economy right now is in a huge correction because we've been on this massive bullish run, which, by the way, happened during a pandemic and everything. So we're kind of due for a correction here. If you guys are brand new to long-term investing or day and swing trading and want to understand some of the lingo and jargon that I've been throwing around and some of the candlestick charts that we were looking at today, I do have a course that I designed myself that is on the Udemy platform that is linked in the description below, and it is constantly on sale, dirt cheap AF. And it has a ton of valuable information. I basically go over top to bottom, tip to tits, how to get started in investing so you guys can understand this stuff a little bit better. And granted, that course is aimed primarily at stocks, bonds, ETFs, traditional investments. However, all the information is also applicable to cryptocurrency, so it is still a valuable course for you to take, and I do strongly recommend it. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it get seen by more people so this information can reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.